Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley / Jade, and today we're doing a little bit something different. We're doing a little bit of a story time today. The story I want to be telling today is about, all the work experiences I had as a fast food employee. Not like all the experiences, but just kind of like the craziest ones. Working in the fast food industry really changes you. Be nicer to, people, places, and things, to be honest. Unless you're like a total douchebag and you don't care, then that's just you. But for me, it just changed the way I look at people who work in the fast food industry. Like, I try to be nicer to them. There was this lady who, I don't know what her problem was. She pulled up to the driveway, and by the way, I might be looking this way, I might be looking down. I'm just doing my makeup, so I'm not gonna be making eye contact the whole time with y'all. But basically, see, that's why I don't do that. The drive through, and this lady comes through, and she's like, has her husband and her kid in the back, and her kid looks really sweet, her husband looks really nice, and I'm like, okay, she should have a good life. I don't know, I don't see a problem here. But she is just the crabbiest lady ever, right? And on the speakerphone, I wasn't prepared for this, because she has like the sweetest little voice. She's like, hi, I want the kids meal with the mac and cheese, pulls around. She had this card for the place I worked at, and it said like 50% or something, I don't know, but basically I've never seen that card before in my life, and it looked for real, like it was official. It wasn't like faked, obviously, because it was a like legit gift card. But she gave it to me, and I didn't really know what to do with it, because we don't have like a slider thing for gift cards. I tried sliding it, right? Doesn't work. I tried the gift card setting, doesn't work, blah 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 blah. I tell her, yo, I don't think I could use this. This isn't like, and it's hard because it says it's for the restaurant. So she's like, what do you mean it's not valid? Blah 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 blah. So we have this whole interaction, and I'm like, sorry, I just can't take it. I don't know how to take that. And my manager even comes around, and she's like, yeah, I don't know how to do that either. And so then we're really like pissing this lady off, right? So she gets her order, and then pulls around. But that's not the end of this lady. I didn't even explain the worst part. She was in the car yelling at her man for no reason. Like, he had his feet up on the dash, and she was like, get your feet off the dash, I fucking hate you, like, just being like the loudest, most obnoxious person I've ever heard in the entirety of my whole life. And her husband was like, okay, but like, you do that to my dash. I heard him say, you always have your feet up on my dash, why can't I just put my feet up? Blah 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 blah. I'm kind of tired. And she's like, no, I never have my feet up on your dash. Get your feet off my dash, and your feet are nastier than my feet. Blah 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 blah. Just being like a total cuckoo head, right? And he's like, okay, but you blah blah blah. He's basically like saying that everything that she's pointing out, she does the same shit. And I was like, his argument. And these people are screaming. I'm right next to the window, and I could just hear them, and I'm like getting anxious for this little kid, right? Because when I was a little kid, like, I used to have to deal with some screaming a little bit, arguing with my parents. Let me tell you, I did not enjoy that experience. And so when I seen this like 5-year-old child, bro, who was just trying to have a good time, he seemed to be like playing, you know what I mean, just having a good time. He needed peace, I felt like. And I literally had the balls, to open the window, look at them, like, while their order was being made, nothing was happening. I just was like, and I was like, keep it calm around the kid, please. And I closed the window. And she kind of gave me this sympathetic look. She's like, aw, she cares about kids. Like, aw. Proceeds to yell at her husband, right? Doesn't give a single crap. So, I then, at that moment, realized that she's just a horrible human being who doesn't care about her child and his mental health, blah, blah, blah. Or her husband's mental health, blah, blah. So, I'm very excited when her food is done. I give it to her. She leaves finally, whatever. She's just like arguing the whole time or whatever. And at this point, I'm hoping that she just leaves. But no, this is not the end of this bitch. She comes inside with the without the food. Actually, she doesn't even come inside at first. I remember her husband comes inside. She probably yelled at her husband like, "Go ask them for some mac and cheese. That bitch was stupid or whatever. Go get some free mac and cheese." Cause we gave her the mac and cheese, right? And she sent her husband in to be like, they didn't give us the mac and cheese when we clearly did. I proceeded to tell them, well, can you bring me the tray, you know, with the mac and cheese? Or with the, like, not mac and cheese. They said that, like, we accidentally gave them, like, broccoli instead of mac and cheese or whatever. I was like, girl, no, we didn't. Like, can you bring the food in and maybe I'll believe you then, right? And so she refuses. He goes to the car, tells her that I told her to bring in the food. She comes into the restaurant and she's like, I don't think I should have to bring in the food, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, you're not getting a freaking free mac and cheese. So if you don't bring in the broccoli, then I'm not going to give you another mac and cheese. And she just storms out. I never see her face again. And that was the end of her on her crazy lady self. I've had a few crazy ladies like that. But on another note, the men, on the other hand, are a little bit different. This one dude used to come in every single, like, day or something. And I worked a lot at this one place. And he would only buy a soda. Y'all, like, never once did this man come in and buy, like, food. Ever. He would come in and the sodas were 50 cents. So I understand, like, maybe he doesn't want to pay $1 for a soda, you know, somewhere else. Because they're really cheap at the place I used to work at. So he comes in every day and buys a soda. And he would always be like, oh, like, you're working today. Like, I was hoping you would work today. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to say. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, have a nice day, you know, with my nice self. Because I'm not going to be mean. I mean, what if he's going to tip me, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely not going to be mean. I'm not going to be like, trying to get that customer service, you know what I mean? So I'm nice, you know. I'm like telling him, have a nice day. This man starts asking me for hugs. Eventually, he's like, and he looks like a really nice old man, right? Like, he looks like the kind of old man who has, like, grandchildren, goes to church, and, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to. But what ended up happening was that it got kind of uncomfortable for me to work at that establishment because the regulars were so, you know, regular. They would come in very often to say hello, to get to know me, or whatever, and I'll be like, how often do you have to have, you know, wings in 1 week or whatever? Kind of odd. To this day, I still wonder if they go in and they flirt with, like, the other girls who work there, or if it was, like, just a personal thing. But anyway, when I started working, there was a day at work where, actually, I think I want a little bit more color today. There was a day at work when the fridges stopped running, y'all. Like, it was the most disgusting thing because the fridge started smelling, right? And I don't think people noticed at first that it wasn't working. So it just kind of, like, you know, probably got hotter and hotter in there. And the food probably kept getting, like, warmer and smellier. And the thing is, it was a fish restaurant, y'all. Like, so it really didn't smell good at all. And smells pretty gross. Also, like, the men's bathroom, y'all, smells so bad. I feel bad for men. I didn't realize, like, there was actually a difference. But there is. The one's bathroom most definitely smells better. Some of the things that were really scary at my work, at my job or whatever, is getting the balls to quit my job. That was one of the scariest things I've ever had to do in my life. I'd have to say, like, quitting a job is a lot harder than people make it seem. It's like, oh, woohoo, I'm gonna quit my job. No, y'all, you'll have to, like, go up to somebody and be like, sorry, this isn't working out. It's almost like a breakup. I literally get so, like, flustered. So, when I first had my first job, quitting was the worst. Because I was the only person who worked there for real. The other person just quit. And I just felt really bad for the owner, you know, that they had to work there by themselves and find somebody or whatever. So I literally, like, stayed there as long as I could for this dude, but I didn't even know, who literally had to deal with this shit all the time anyway. So it's like, that really just proves to you, like, you might as well just do what you want, because I really was scared for nothing. He really was understanding about it too. When I told him I wanted to quit, he was like, okay, so why haven't you quit? Type shit. Like, it was kind of embarrassing. At my second job, it was a little bit different. There were more people working there, and they were kind of getting on my nerves. So that really, like, did it for me. I kind of held on at the other place more. But I felt like at that place, the second one I worked at, there was more than enough idiots working there to, you know, flip the fries, etc. So I was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And it was a nice moment for me. I actually put in my 2 weeks, and then I didn't last the full 2 weeks. I tried. I really did. But about a week later, I just couldn't do it. It wasn't even worth my time. I think the worst part of my second job was probably my boss. Not my, like, hiring manager, but my shift manager was super, super negative. She constantly, I don't know, just was like, like, she just had no energy to her. So how do you expect, like, your staff to have energy if you have none, like, whatsoever? So it's a bit frustrating, but besides her, like, the people on my shifts were actually kind of cool. They're just idiots, you know. They would do stupid things for fun. I hope you guys liked this story time video. If you liked my makeup look or the story time, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to see another video like this, go ahead and leave a comment down below or subscribe. It would really help out my channel and keep me motivated.